I have had the pleasure of already testing some brand new drivers in 2025. However, upon reflection, I thought, why wouldn't you just buy one of these instead? Considering two of these options you can get brand new, one of the options you can get fitted for, and all three options you can buy for under £300, and that's brand new, let alone the second-hand price of these, which would obviously be a lot less. Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon here, SAS Golf Academy, and I guess you could say these are my three picks for 2025. So much so, one of these drivers, when it does become under £200, is directly going to go into my golf bag. But I'm only waiting another 6 months to save that extra bit of money because I know exactly what head type, what loft, what shaft, what grip size I would want in that particular driver head. And a lot of you guys don't have that answer. Therefore, you almost feel compelled to go and get a brand new driver, whether it's 499 or 549, to get those questions answered. Which is why I'm gonna start with one of the drivers that you probably won't be able to get club fitted for now. I know you could probably get fitted for the other two, but yes, the second-hand price is very inviting. You look at LTDX, or let's say we look at a Aerojet second-hand, they always plateau at 150, 160 pounds. So if you pick this up for 200, 210, you're not really risking all that much. But I have to look at how much ex-demo stuff of this Cobra Darkspeed on the internet, meaning there's probably a local shop near you that would be willing for you to try and test their ex-demo range. Which means whether you go for the X, which is the forgiving head, the Max, which is the draw bias head, or the LS, which is the low spin head, and I put that all together, I do believe this is one of the best value picks of 2025, whether you buy it secondhand and guess loft, shaft, head type, or you find a local shop near you with loads of ex-demo ones of these, and you probably get some professional advice, and they offload some stock from their shop floor. But what happens if you do guess and you get it wrong? How bad can it be? And my answer to that, when it comes to, let's say, distance and dispersion, I would go in terms of this being very generous to the club fitting, head type, technology side, 20%. 80% technique, 20%, and that's incredibly generous to the technology and the club fitting as well. Come on, let's adopt this new driver swing. Oh, there she is. Boys and girls, I've come out to in with my driver. Honestly, a 10.5 stiff or a 10.5 regular standard length for the majority of mid to high handicappers is going to be close enough to the mark that it's not going to be costing you 3-4 shots around. And for whatever reason you did get it wrong and you buy any three of these options I'm suggesting secondhand, you're going to lose no more than 30-40 pounds over the course of a year. Which means the other 80 to 85% is made up from technique when it comes to driver dispersion and distance. And for you keen-eyed viewers, you'll notice this isn't a driver, but I have to thank the sponsor of this video, Swingtweaks, as I had my swing tweaked almost 2 weeks ago, and I have to say the new feeling that I have, and for me, I'm a very feel player, my iron game, my wedge game is in a phenomenal position at the moment. And it's all because of one simple drill. And considering technique is so important when it comes to longer, further drives, for me, this new technique is so difficult to adopt with a driver. I've just never been used to doing it. The only way to make that more comfortable is by practice. And Swingtweaks have a pre-season sale on at the moment, which means that there's no better time to probably start that said practice. This is by far the funniest club in this list, and I'll explain why, because PXG are very good at doing this without really telling anyone they're doing it. What I mean by that is if you type in PXG Gen 6 driver into the Google search engine and you have tons of online retailers come up, this driver, brand new, is around £429, something around there, maybe a tiny bit more. I can't really remember the exact price. Oh, it feels good off the face. However, if you go onto the official PXG website, whether that's the American one or the UK one, you'll notice that this is currently being sold brand new with different options. I presume you can get custom fitted for it. Presumably if you went to one of their fitting locations, I imagine at the Drift, or even ring them up as they have a phone service. Talk to a professional about your swing, your club head speed, angle of attack, your bad shot, etc., etc. And you get a brand new one of these for £279. Rifled. whilst he falls over into the back wall. And again, if you want second-hand, you want affordable, you want the XF, look on the right-hand side here, the Gen 5 second-hand, the one before this, 130, 140, 150 pounds. But the point of this video is to give you guys options where you can get professional advice. Looking on the website, sadly, the XF, the forgiving version of this Gen 6, only comes in 9° now, so I presume they're running out of stock, meaning it's going to be limited how often you can get this brand new fitted at that price. But the 0311, not the XF, so the standard head, a bit less spinny, potentially for you faster players that want a bit more distance, there's loads of heads and there's probably loads of shafts. And if it means you can get a fitting and buy a driver for under £300 at this kind of quality with this kind of quality shafts, why would you buy a £550 driver when this is potentially an option? Which brings me onto my driver pick of 2025, and I fully well know that this driver is definitely going to be able to be fitted for the rest of the year. Finally, a manufacturer did what I wanted them to do. They've gone, we can't beat last year's, therefore we're not only going to just keep the current lineup, actually we're going to drop the price to around £300 brand new, and I imagine if you're Mizuno Fitting Centre, you'll be able to fit for all of their drivers for around that same price tag, which for me, considering they brought out one of the best driver heads of 2025, seems very much like a no-brainer. For example, I've got the STX here, and you can see that weight at the bottom left, meaning it wants to close the face. Evidently, for my swing and what I've been trying to work on, that doesn't necessarily help. But I've got this lovely little Tor X 70-gram X-Stiff shaft here. And because this lineup sounds completely different to so many Mizuno drivers in the past, I'm definitely thinking about getting the ST Max, the 10K popular Mizuno head. Again, I put that on a pedestal as one of the best drivers that came out last year. It sounds like this. I whack the same shaft of this in that. Well, then I think I've got a great driver for the next couple of years. And as you guys know, I like being a bit different. Everyone seems to put down Mizuno drivers. Well, it's one of the reasons why I want to put it in the bag. Now, if you wanted the STG version, the low launching, low spinning head, actually that's another £50 more, but again for $350, and for the small amount of you that probably need that head, it's not necessarily a bad option. The point of this video is that I've got 3 drivers here that were over £450 last year. 6 months later, you can now get them for all under £300, brand new, and more importantly, with professional advice, meaning that they are exactly the same as a brand new £550 driver, because guess what? They feel, they sound, and they perform exactly the same as those more expensive options. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching this video. Link in the description for the Swingtweaks app. Any questions, sasgolfacademy.com.